Hmm. Right. Good morning, everyone. All the online students, is it the screen is visible? All the online students, could you please everyone respond in the chat window? I request all the online students need to respond in the chat window. All right. Perfect, guys. Okay. Let's get continued then. So the one we have been discussing about, right. So the one we have been discussing about these important concepts here. That is what we have been discussing. Object identification. We mentioned that we can say that object identification, or we will be taking with element locators. I mean, as simple while working this particular whole automation testing. So while working this particular whole automation testing, finding whether the object is very most important. So without finding whether the object, we cannot continue that particular automation here. That is what we are learning it. As part of this particular playwright, we will be taking with inspect option. While working this particular inspect option, it will be taking with these particular 8 types of techniques here. As part of that particular perspective of 8 types, the one we mentioned that get by role, which we will be taking with that particular perspective of get by role. Then you will be taking with get by label. Right. So get by label. Then you will be mentioning the get by text. Along with that, we got page dot locator. We got page dot locator. Then you will be mentioning the get by placeholder. Okay. Along with that, we got get by alt text. Get by alt text. And then you will be taking with get by test ID. So this is what you will be taking with these particular 7 types of options here as part of this particular playwright based on tester comfortable. So we are not having any limit on this. Based on the tester comfortable, we can go with in utilizing any of these particular options here. Okay. So let's see that how exactly we can go with these particular options here. So we are understanding this particular get by role. This is we mentioned that very straightforward, considering that based on tag name, or we can say that role provided in HTML code. Based on that particular tag name or a role provided in the HTML code, we are working that particular concept of get by role. That is what we have been already started doing that particular practice, which we will be maintaining that particular perspective of Excel file here. So need to be get maintain that particular Excel file related to that particular object identification. So which we have been started in working with get by role. Then we got get by label. So get by label, very straightforward. We can say that need to have tag name, tag name of label. Need to have tag name of label in HTML code. So we need to have a tag name of label in that particular HTML code. Then it will go with in working with that particular get by label. Then you will be taking with get by text. This is also very straightforward. Mention that need to have text. We can say that need to have text without equal symbol. Need to have a text without equal symbol. Then you will be taking with this particular page dot locator, which we have been mentioned that universal option. This particular page dot locator, we are mentioning that it will be taking with universal options here. So as part of this particular aspect of universal option, we mentioned that it will be taking with XPath and then it will be taking with that particular CSS and then it can go with the name and then it will be taking with ID. So these are we got considering that universal option. I mean, why we are considering universal options is the same option, the same concept. It can be applicable with Playwright and it can be applicable with the Selenium or it can be applicable with Cypress. Any kind of automation tool, these particular options are applicable. That is what we need to be get mentioned that universal options here. So now we are getting comfortable with these options here. In that, we have been started in working this particular XPath. If I just go with that particular XPath, as part of that particular XPath, we got different type of options here. Like if we just look into this particular XPath option, one, it will be mentioning that it will be taking with the first understanding of XPath is we can say that group of nodes. If I go with this particular XPath, we can mention that we can consider that it will be taking with group of nodes. That particular XPath we got in two types. That particular XPath it will be taking with the two types here. That particular two types it will mention that absolute XPath and then taking with relative XPath. One it will be taking with absolute XPath, another one relative XPath. Meaning of absolute XPath, we mentioned that starts with HTML tag or you can mention single forward slash. Whenever you are referring with the XPath, if you are able to see that particular HTML tag in the starting, I mean, the tag name itself, we need to have an HTML. That is what we done. See here. The tag name itself, we got that particular HTML. That is what it will be considering that absolute text path here. And then it will be taking with relative XPath, which need to be get start with that particular two forward slash. We can consider that particular two forward slash, or we can say that having with that particular attribute that it will be mentioning that it will be taking with relative XPath. So XPath is two types only. We got that particular two types of XPath here. And then it will be taking with that particular relative XPath. Under relative XPath, again we got an option of XPath with attribute. Under attribute, we got an options of XPath with single attribute, XPath with multiple attribute, XPath with that particular text attribute, and then taking with XPath with text attribute, and then considering that it will be taking with contains, then it will be taking with starts with here. So this is what it will be taking with this XPath option. For that particular XPath, we are already having that particular predefined syntax. We are already having that particular perspective of predefined syntax here. You need to take with the help of these particular syntaxes. Based on this particular syntax, we need to write that particular XPath. Previously, we got that particular single attribute, multiple attribute. Then it will be taking with text attribute. These are the three things we have been done. Now, continued with the same, we need to be get go with contains, and then it will be taking with starts with. Let's understand how exactly it can go with these particular contains, and then it will be taking with this particular starts with here. Okay, let's look into that. It will be taking with these particular respective steps here. Okay, fine. Now, so we are maintaining that particular Excel here. As part of that particular Excel, we documented XPath with single attribute, multiple attribute, text attribute. Continued with the same thing, we need to be get go with and mention that XPath with contains. Let me try XPath with contains. Already you have in a syntax. All the online students also, you have in a syntax of XPath with contains. Based on this particular syntax, based on this particular syntax, first you can try. Based on this particular syntax, you guys can try it in writing with the XPath of contains. I'll be giving the HTML code. Based on that particular HTML code, based on that particular HTML code, it can go with and continued with in writing that particular XPath. Let me give an HTML code. Right. All the online students refer these particular HTML code. So by referring this particular HTML code, you guys can write XPath with contains. All the online students, you can write XPath with contains. Just you can respond in the chat window. All the online students also, once you write it, just you can respond in the chat window. I'm expecting XPath with contains. There is no equal symbol, guys. Akshaya, it is not like an equal symbol. It is in a comma. You need to be very careful about with the syntaxes. All the syntaxes we need to be followed in the very perfect way. So in HTML, you will not have any keyword of contains. In the HTML code, you will not have any keyword of contains. As part of the syntax, we are writing that particular contains. Okay, done. Let's see here how we can write it. We got a tag name of input. Okay. First, I will be taking with these particular two forward slash. Will be taking with the input square brackets. It's mandatory that we need to write in a word of contains in a small letter. We need to be mentioned in small letter. Then it will be taking with at the rate symbol. Now we need to be get provide attribute type. That particular attribute type we can provide anything. So that particular attribute type we can provide anything here. It will be taking with that particular respective of name attribute, type attribute, class attribute, tab index. So you can go with that particular name attribute, type attribute, class attribute, tab index. It can go with any of the thing here. As an example, I'm just taking with name attribute only, which I will be taking with the name, and in a single code, we need to be get provide that particular attribute. Let's see that either it is correct or not, working or not. Okay. Further, as usual, I'll go with Control F and then provide that particular XPath. Click on Enter, it will be highlighting. Once I got click on Enter, it will be highlighting that particular code that it will be taking with this particular respective password. This is what it will be taking with these particular respective steps here. Okay. So in this way, we can go with XPath with contains. Let's try for one more. All the online students also try for one more. Refer this HTML code. According to this HTML code, you can go with, you can write XPath with contains. So refer that particular HTML code. Based on that particular HTML code, you can write XPath with contains. Okay, let's see that. Again, the concept will be the same. First, I need to be good, go with the tag name. We got in a tag name is input. As part of the attribute, we can use any attribute. We can go with any of that particular attribute. Let's see here. Now, which I will be taking with two forward slash. I will be taking with the input, and then within that particular square brackets, it will be taking with the contains, and then it will be taking with at the rate, and then it will mention the value. So value, and then providing that particular attribute. So we can utilize any of the attribute based on that particular tester comfortable. We can go with in utilizing any of that particular attribute. That is what we will be taking with. Click on enter. It has been highlighting that particular object. This is what it will be working with this particular XPath with contains. In a similar way, we need to be get go with starts with. How we got that particular contains in a similar way, we need to be get go with starts with. While working that particular starts with, it's mandatory of we need to be mention that particular hyphen symbol. We need to be get mentioned that starts hyphen. It will be taking with it will be taking with that particular hyphen symbol. That is what it will be taking with these particular respective steps here. It will be mentioning that it will go with this particular respective of starts with. Okay. Then it will be taking with at the rate symbol, attribute type, and taking with that particular attribute value. So it should be in a small letters only. Contains, it will be in a small letter, and then starts with, that is also it's need to be get take into that particular perspective of small letters here. Okay, so let's see that how exactly it will be done here. Okay, now so you guys are having the syntax. First you guys can try it now. For this HTML code, you can write XPath with starts with. Online students, for this HTML code, you can write XPath with starts with. Starts with hyphen symbol should be there. Nageshwarao, that hyphen symbol should be there. And Sharon, you have to mention the tag name. It is not like writing the HTML. You have to provide that HTML tag. Okay. Right. So let's see that how exactly we can do it here. So now I will be taking with this particular one. Right. So I'll be just taking with name only. We can go with any attribute. We can utilize any of the attribute here. It will be mentioning the XPath with contains, and then in the same way it will be taking with XPath with starts with. Right. So one we got XPath with contains, and then taking with XPath with starts with. It will be taking with two forward slash, which it will be taking with that particular two forward slash, and then it will be having this particular step. So these particular two forward slash, and then it will be taking with the input, and then square brackets, it will be taking with that particular one starts with, then it will be taking with at the rate, and then name, and it will be mentioning that txt txt username. So this is what you need to be get go with in working with this particular XPath with starts with. Let's cross check that it is working or not. Once you got click on enter, it has been highlighting that particular object. So in this way, we need to be get go with. In this way, we need to be get go with, and it will be taking with this particular respective of starts with here. Okay, done. So now let's try with one more object. Uh, Try for this. All the online students, for that particular highlighted one. Based on that particular HTML code, you can write X pathway starts with. X pathway starts with. So, Agita, I'm asking about XPath which starts with. What you are providing is absolute XPath. I'm not asking about absolute XPath. You need to be get provide XPath which starts with. Okay. Let's see here. If I just go with this particular one, so I'm just taking with the value attribute. It's not like mandatory that you need to go with the value attribute. We can go with any of that particular respective of attribute. Let's see here. I'm just taking with this particular two forward slash and then providing with the tag name as a input, and then it will be taking with the square brackets. Then first it will be mentioning that it will be taking with starts with, and then it will go with at the rate symbol. It will be taking with the value need to be get provide that particular respective value. Now let's cross check that. Let's cross check that either it has been correct or not. If I just go with this particular control F, if I just click on enter, it has been highlighting that particular object. So once we got click on that particular enter, it has been highlighting that particular object. So in this way, we need to be get go with in finding these particular respective objects here. So this is, we got an XPath options here. While working with the XPath, we got other options also available, but mainly we are targeting for these options here. Once I got an comfortable for these particular options, very easily we can go with in finding with the object for any of other XPath options also. Now, as we got these options, what exactly make with the difference? Because everything we are finding the object only. But while working this particular single attribute, multiple attribute, or text attribute, or contains, or starts with, what exactly make the difference here? Let's see that. Let's look into that. Okay. Now, if I just go with this particular one, what exactly the difference of these options is, it will be taking with this particular inspect, which will be taking with that particular inspect. Now, first we'll write XPath with single attribute. As part of XPath with single attribute, two forward slash, you are taking with the input at the rate, it will be taking with the name equal to. In a single code, we need to be get mentioned that txt password. So we written XPath with single attribute. Okay. So we written XPath with that particular single attribute. First, I'll click on enter. It is highlighting. Once I got click on enter, It has been highlighting with the object. There is no issue at all. Now, what I'm doing is I'm just making with small modification. All the online students, please be very clear, guys. I'm just taking with the small modification of removing only one letter. I'm just removing only one letter and then I'm clicking on enter. Now, if I click on enter, is it highlighting the object? Online students. I'm clicking on enter, but is it is highlighting with the object? No, it is not highlighting with the object. That means the concept you have to understand is while working XPath with single attribute, multiple attribute, text attribute. While working XPath with single attribute, multiple attribute, text attribute, it is mandatory that it's need to match with 100%, including capital letter and small letter. Then only it will find that particular object. It's need to find, it's need to match 100%. Then only it will find that particular object. So here in the name, it is not matching 100%. So it is not able to find the object here. This is your first understanding. First understanding is while working XPath with single attribute, multiple attribute, text attribute, it's mandatory that it has to get matched with 100%. Okay. Now, let's go with contains. Let's try contains. 2 / input square brackets contains and then at the rate taking with the name in a single code txt, you will be taking with password. Now I'm clicking on enter. It is highlighting. So once I got click on enter, 100% it is matching and then it has been highlighting that particular object. Okay, done. Now see the concept, guys. All the online students, please be very clear. I'm just removing one letter. I'm just removing one particular letter in the ending. I just remove the D and then I'm clicking on enter. Highlighting online students. I remove the one letter of D and then clicking on enter. Is it highlighting? Yes, it has been highlighting. So this is what it will be mentioning, that this is what it will be taking with these particular steps. This will make you the difference. This will make you the difference of this particular XPath with single attribute, multiple attribute, text attribute and contains. That means while working with the contains, it's not like it has to match with 100%. If it is matching partially also, if it is matching partially also, it is able to find that particular object here. Okay. In the same way, let me try in remove in the starting. First I removed at the ending. Now I'm removing in the starting. I just remove the T and then click on enter. Still it is highlighting. I removed in the starting. I removed in the ending. It is highlighting. Because understand the technique. The name of the technique itself XPath with contains. That means how this XPath is working in our HTML code, in our HTML code. Okay, so in our HTML code, it asks to search with the name option with these letters. With these characters, it is matching. It will find that particular object. See here, if we click on enter, it is highlighting that particular password text box here. Now, what I will do is I will remove one letter in the middle. I'll just remove one letter in the middle. I'll just remove that. Then click on enter. It is not highlighting. That means the sequence is mandatory. Starting and ending you can remove. That particular middle, that particular sequence is mandatory. So this is what it will be taking with XPath with contains. So the one option XPath with contains. That means while working that particular XPath with contains, if it is matching partially, if it is matching partially also, it will be able to find that particular object. It will be able to find that particular object that it will be taking with this particular option of XPath with contains here. In a similar way, let me try starts with. Let me try starts with. Okay. 2 /, then it will be taking with input square brackets mentioning dot. It will be taking with starts with. Then it will be taking with this particular at the rate, taking with the name, and then it will mention txt password. If I click on enter, it is highlighting that particular object. If I click on enter, it has been highlighting that particular respective object. Okay. Now what I will do, I'll follow the same. First, I'm removing the letter at the ending. I'm just removing with the letter at ending and then click on enter. Highlighting. So I just removed one letter at the ending. Click on enter. It has been highlighting. That means XPath with contains also highlighting. XPath with starts with also highlighting. Then what will make the difference here? Online students. XPath with contains it is highlighting. XPath with starts with also highlighting. Then what make the difference here? Okay. Now let's see here. So the main difference is if I just go with this particular one. So here I'll just taking with now in the starting I will be removing it. If I just remove in the starting, now we can see. If I just click on this particular enter, if I just click on this particular enter, now we can see that it is not highlighting. Now you can understand the difference. The name itself, it is clearly saying that starts with. The name itself, it is clearly saying that starts with. That particular start, you are saying that name has to be start with the letter of the X, but there is no name which is starting with the X, so it is not able to find that particular object. So that is how you will be taking with XPath with contains and XPath with starts with. Most of the time in an interview, you can expect some question. While attending with the interviews, we can expect some question in asking that the one common question. So while attending with the interview, we can expect some question mentioning that how to find how to find dynamic objects. How to find dynamic objects or elements. So the meaning of dynamic objects or elements is we can say that data is changing it. The meaning of dynamic is data will be updating. So data will be updating. That it will say that dynamic. The best example, the best example you can consider inbox of 50. If I go with this particular inbox of 50, if I go with this particular inbox of 50, right. So if I just go with this particular one, if I just go with this particular inbox of 50, that is, we can mention that here inbox will be the constant. Inbox will be constant that it will be taking with 50 dynamic. Like first we'll have 50. In case if we got in a new email, it will become in a 51. One more email, 52. So that it will be getting it. So because of that, these kind of objects, to find these kind of objects, the best option we can take with the help of XPath with contains or XPath with starts with. At that particular time, XPath with contains, we can mention that finding with which is constant or starts with of inbox, then it will be finding this particular object here. So this is how we can take with the help of these options here, mentioning that in finding that particular dynamic objects and then taking with that particular respective of these particular elements here. So this is it will be taking with all these particular respective of XPath option. In the same way, we got another option that is CSS. So how exactly you can work with this particular CSS? So how exactly you can get work with this particular CSS? Let's see that. Let's go with this particular detailed understanding how we can go with this particular XPath or it will be taking with this particular respective of CSS here. Okay, right. Let's look into this. Right. Yes, guys. Right. See that. So if I go with this particular actual syntax, I mean, whenever you are working with our actual playwright, how all these particular things will be coming into the picture. See that. For now, we can use with the statement page dot locator. For this particular locator, we can provide XPath, or we can provide CSS, or we can provide name, or we can provide ID. Okay. So how exactly we can provide these things here? See the example. Page dot I'm taking with locator. First I'm trying with XPath. 2 forward slash, it will be taking with the input at the rate, it will be taking with the name equal to, it will be taking with txt username. This is which it will be considering that it will be taking with XPath. This is it can consider that XPath here. Okay. Now, inside of this bracket, you can provide absolute XPath, relative XPath, XPath with single attribute, XPath with multiple attribute. Whatever you want to provide, you can provide it. There is no difference here. You will be taking with the statement of page dot locator. What is mean by page? No worries about it all. I'll discuss in the coming sessions. For now, our target is in understanding finding with the objects. In the same way, we need to get go with that particular this CSS. So how you will be working that particular CSS? The same object in case of CSS, page dot locator, double quotes. Whenever you are working with the CSS, there is no concept of 2 forward slash. I will be taking with this particular syntax. I will be mentioning what exactly that particular syntax is. See that. This is CSS. While working with the CSS, the full form we mentioned that cascading style sheet. Syntax is there is no concept of 2 forward slash. You will have an HTML tag name and then at the rate symbol, attribute type in a single code. You need to be provide attribute value. This is what the syntax will be followed. So whenever you are working with the CSS, while working that particular CSS, there is no concept of 2 forward slash. If you mention that particular, if you mention that particular 2 forward slash, it will be taking with that particular respective of XPath. It will mention, it will have that particular respective of XPath. But as part of CSS, there is no concept of that particular CSS. Then it will be taking with name. So how you will be working name option? How you will be working name option is need to have name attribute in HTML code. Need to have name attribute in HTML code. That means, as an example, I'm referring this particular object. See here. If you refer the highlighted one, having the name attribute, online students, in that highlighted one, do we have in a name attribute? Yes or no, guys? Yes. We got an a name attribute. So we'll be just taking with the name. So what is the syntax will be followed is, see here. It will be writing page dot locator, page dot locator. Double quotes, it will be using hash symbol. Whenever you mention the hash symbol, the tool, it will understand that it has to search for name attribute in that particular HTML code. So in that particular HTML code, it will be taking with that particular respective of name option. That means whenever you refer that particular HTML code, in that particular HTML code, if you are able to see name attribute, then it will be taking with the help of hash symbol, then it will be providing what is that particular name. In the same way, it will be taking with this particular ID. If I'm just taking with ID, now if I'm referring this particular HTML code, if I refer this particular HTML code, do we have an ID attribute? Online students, do we have an ID attribute? No. That means I cannot apply the technique of ID for this particular text box here. As an example, I'll just go with some other object to get in a clear picture. To get in a clear picture, I'm just taking add employee. Okay. Now we can see. I'm just taking with right click and then inspect. Refer the highlighted one. Now it can refer highlighted one. Any ID option we got it? ID attribute? Online students. Do we have an ID attribute or not? Yes. So we got ID attribute. As we got an ID attribute, this object I can find with the help of ID. So how you will be doing? You will be followed with that particular same syntax. You will be using hash only, just will be providing that particular ID. So in the HTML code, in case if you're having name attribute, ID attribute, then it will be taking with that particular hash. Now see the understanding. Concept is same. Everywhere you are using the locator only. So for that particular locator, if you started with the two forward slash, it will understand, it will understand, it will be taking with, it is an XPath. If you are not provided two forward slash, it will understand, it is in a CSS. If you mention with the hash symbol, then it will understand either name or ID. Both are hash symbol only. Both are hash symbol only. In that, it will search for either name or it will be taking with or ID. Anyone it is matching it, it will be trying to find that particular respective object. So this is what the syntax will be followed in working with this particular locator option. So if I go with this particular locator, we can provide XPath, we can provide CSS, we can provide the name, and we can provide ID. In the same way, we are already done with the option that is get by role. So if I go with get by role, so here you need to be get provide that particular role details here. what exactly that particular related to that object or that particular element. Object or it will be taking with element role details need to be provided. So how we need to provide, you will understand. So as part of whenever we are doing our actual programming related to that particular object, whatever that particular details are there, we need to be get provide that particular role details. The same thing applied, the same thing applied for mentioning that page dot it will be taking with get by label. It will be taking with get by label. As usual, you need to be get provide that particular label details. What are all that particular label details are there? You need to be get provide that particular label details. Okay. Then it will be taking with page dot. It will be taking with get by text. You need to be get provide that particular text details. Whatever that particular text details are there, whatever that particular text details are there, we need to be get provide that particular text details here. Okay. In the same way, you will be working with next option. That is what you will be taking with page dot place holder. Page dot placeholder. So here you need to be get mentioned that you will be taking with placeholder details. You need to be get provide that particular placeholder details here. Okay. Then it will be taking with page dot, it will be taking with alt text. You need to be get provide the same. You need to be get provide that particular alt text details. We can say that alt or alt text. Anyone alt or alt text details need to be get provided. And finally, it will be taking with this particular test ID. Page dot, it will be taking, sorry, this is get by. Get by. Oh. And then it will be taking with get by test ID. Okay. So here we need to be get provided. It will be taking with this particular one. It will mention that it will be taking with test ID details here. So in this way, we can go with in utilizing this particular option. That means whenever we are working our actual automation based on tester comfortable, as these many options we got it, there is no any specific rule or any specific condition. Based on that particular tester comfortable, we can go with in utilizing any of the option. As a tester, our target is finding whether the object is our target. Finding whether the object is our target, we can utilize any of the options here. Right. See that. So based on that particular tester comfortable, we can go with in utilizing any of that particular respective options here. Okay. Let's go with still more detailed of these particular things. This is we can mention that need to have placeholder attribute in HTML code. That means when you will be using placeholder is whenever you refer with the HTML code, in the HTML code, you need to have placeholder attribute. For example, as an example, let's see here. I'll be trying this particular inspect. Refer the highlighted one. If you refer highlighted one, are you able to see any attribute of placeholder? Online students, are we able to see any attribute of placeholder? No. So we don't have any attribute of placeholder. Let me try this text box. Now refer this. Do we have any attribute of placeholder here? In this highlighted one, do we have any attribute of placeholder? No. That means we cannot apply that. So we cannot apply that particular technique. So most of the time in this application, we don't have any option of placeholder attribute here. Let me try this another application. I will be taking with right click, inspect. See the highlighted one. Do we have any attribute of placeholder? Online students, yes or no? If you refer this, you're able to see the attribute of placeholder? Yes. So we got an attribute of placeholder, that is enter username. That means in the HTML code itself, we need to able to see attribute of placeholder. Then we can apply the technique of placeholder. Okay. In the same way, we got this particular one of alt text. This is also same, mentioning that need to have alt or alt text. Need to have alt or alt text attribute. So or we can say that tag. Attribute mentioning that in HTML code. This is, we can say that mostly suggested for images. This is mostly suggested for images. So if I'm just taking with this particular one, it has been suggested for images. Like particularly if you're trying to recognize any of that particular image, so then it will be taking with the help of this particular alt text here. I mean, whenever you got refer that particular HTML code, in that particular HTML code, we need to be able to see the attribute of alt or alt text attribute. Then we can try the technique of page dot that particular get by alt text. Let's try here. Let's try our HRMS application. I mean, this is very straightforward, saying that images, you need to try to find the object of images only. I will be taking with that particular perspective of images. Let's see here, which I will be taking with, I will be applying for images. I'm just taking with this particular logo. I'll be taking with the right click and inspect. See here. Do we have any tag name of alt or alt text here? In this highlighted one, do we have any tag name of alt or alt text? No, we don't have it. Let me find this image. Inspect. So there is no tag name of alt or alt text. We cannot apply. Let me try this particular one. I'll just take with the logo inspect. Now we can see here having the tag name of alt here, alt attribute. In the HTML code itself, we are able to see that we got a tag name, sorry, attribute alt. If you are able to see that particular attribute of alt, then we can apply that particular technique. In the same way, in a similar way, we can apply this particular test ID also. The same thing will be applied for test ID. Test ID also mentioning that need to have test ID attribute. Need to have test ID attribute in HTML code. Need to have test ID attribute in HTML code. So if you are able to see the test ID attribute in HTML code, then you can utilize this particular test ID. A very rare cases you will be getting with the attribute of test ID, but that is also one particular option is available. So this is what it will be taking with all these particular respective of 7 types of options which it will be using in finding this particular object. Since these many options, which option we have to use it, it's totally depends on the tester comfortable. So for now, you guys need to continue all the practice here. Your Excel file need to ready up to XPath with the starts with this get by placeholder and then alt or alt text for entry purpose only. But as part of your practice, you need to spend with the more time. You need to do all that particular practice up to XPath with contains and XPath with starts with. Your Excel file need to ready with all these options for multiple projects. HRMS application, e-banking application, and then adapting. Still, if you are more comfortable, you can continue with other projects also. Your application need to be get ready with, your Excel file need to ready with all object identification. This is what I will be taking with in finding objects while working this particular playwright. As we mentioned, while working this particular IT job, whenever you are doing with the IT job, right? So any IT job, you will be getting with the two things here. So that particular two things has already a guys has been very well knowing which he will be taking with the hard work and then he will be taking with that particular smart work. So if I go with that particular IT job, we got in a hard work and then taking with smart work. So till now, what we have been done hard work here. That is manually find the object. This particular hard work is manually you need to be get find object by taking with the syntax all those things you need to find it. The smart work is we can mention using tools or it can take with AI. With the help of tools or with the help of AI, we can come up with in finding these objects here. As an example, as an example of that particular tool name is you can try with selector. you can try with selector hub. That AI you will be taking with that particular chart GPT. So the one tool you can try with selector hub, another AI tool we can take with the help of that particular chart GPT. So how exactly you can go with this particular smart work? So for now, as part of practice purpose, don't go with the smart work. As part of the practice purpose, never go with the smart work. Just I'm trying to give both the options here. You need to be get have that smart work, and then you will be taking with that particular perspective of hard work here. So this is what you will be taking with. You will be mentioning that you will be taking with these particular steps here. Okay. So this it will be mentioning that it will be taking with these particular steps here. Okay. So what exactly the meaning of selectors hub? How you can utilize these particular selector hub? For that, go with this particular Google. So, and then I will be taking with this particular respective step, which I will be taking with this particular respective step, mentioning that like you can search selected sub extension for Chrome. Selected hub extension for Chrome. So which you will be taking with in Google, you can type as selected hub extension for Chrome here. So this is what you will be mentioning that you will be taking with these particular respective steps here. Okay. So these particular one, you will be mentioning that you will be taking with these particular steps here. Okay. So this is what you will be mentioning that you will go with in installing Selectors Hub extension for Chrome. Okay. Then the very first URL you will be getting that particular Selectors Hub taking with that particular Chrome. So you can go with refer this. So we'll be getting. So I have been already installed it. Okay. So I have been already installed it, which I will be taking with remove option. For me, it is giving, it will be taking with, it will be having this particular remove option here. Okay. Done. So how you can get open? Let's see. First, you can go with your application in plugins. That is a just plugin, right? That is a just plugin only. You will be taking with this particular respective plugin. You will be taking with this particular respective of. So I'll just open selectors hub. Just open that particular selectors hub. Okay. You got a two options. One is standard. I'll get in two options. One is standard. Another one playwright. Okay. So one is I will be taking with the standard. I will be taking with this particular respective of I will be having this particular playwright. So I'm just clicking on the playwright. Now what I will do, I'll take with the inspect. Whatever the object you want to inspect, it can do this. Okay. See here. Automatically, it will be giving all these particular respective options here. We got page dot locator. If I come down, page dot get by role, whatever the possible options are there, so related to that object, it will be giving all the options here, and it is giving number also. In case if I'm trying with this, it is finding four objects. This is finding two objects. This option is finding only one object. So these kind of flexibility we got. I'll just select the clear option. Then the all these things are finding only one object here. So we got all these options. Then these are all finding duplication. So it will be giving all these particular options here. So in this way, we can take with the help of selectors hub also. No, sir, the selectors hub is looks like some difficult. Still, we require easy as simple. It will be taking with AI tool that it will be taking with chat GPT. So how you will be doing? See, very simple. Taking with the snipping tool, new. I'm just taking with the image. What are all the objects I want to find it? I take in the image. Now I mention that paste. I just attach that image saying that find all the objects for playwright automation. Or I'll be mentioning that using XPath. I'm just mentioning that using XPath. Or I can clearly say that XPath with attributes. So find all the object using XPath with attributes. Okay, done. So this is, I will be mentioning that it will analyze that object and then it will be finding, providing that particular XPath option. So this is how it will be able to go with in finding this particular respective AI also. So, but practice purpose, never go with the AI. So just I'm giving all the possibilities here, but you need to be get go with in having this particular one. Now we can see XPath using attributes. So it is coming up with assumptions here. And then it will be giving with the XPath here, providing all that particular perspective of XPath also. Really these XPath will be working means no. It will give you, we need to try it and we need to cross check that it will be working or not. So in this way, it will be taking with this particular respective concept of XPath here. So this, the whole concepts related to object identification here. Next, we need to get start with TypeScript. So from tomorrow, we'll be getting started with the TypeScript here. But before that, you guys can continue. It's not like you will be stopping your practice. Your practice need to be continued with all these particular object identification. Again, I'm saying here, without finding with the object, you cannot continue the automation. Without finding with the object, you cannot continue the automation. It's mandatory that you need to be get find the object, then only we can continue automation. So please go with all these particular practice here. From tomorrow, we'll be getting started with the TypeScript here. After that, we need to be get start with our actual playwright. And up to this, you need to ready for one exam also. When will be the exam? I will be mentioning it, but be prepared for the exam of day one of our session two till today. The whole object identification, you need to write one exam. I mean, concepts wise, you will be writing with the exam here. How the exam will be done, everything I will be saying that. Okay. But for now, please go your regular practice. Clear? Right. Online students having the questions, you guys can carry on your questions.
Bluetooth mode. Slow.
Hi, sir.
Online student.
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
Naresh this side.
Yes, Naresh, carry on.
Yeah, sir. Sir, could you please try writing an XPath for the reset button in the PIM add module using the on mouse over attribute?
That will not work.
Yeah.
That attribute will not be working yet because on
Okay.
more is different. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yesterday we have tried, so I got an
Hmm.
error. But using double quotation, it is working. But single quote in the attribute value while providing in single quote, it is not working. So just got
Hmm.
doubt.
Yeah. No worries.
Okay. And also, there is no need to write XPath with, absolute XPath manually.
If you are getting, I mean, once you get comfortable it, we can write it.
I mean,
Anyway, we have a copy option is available. If not, we can go with that particular manual options also.
okay, sir. I mean, you are
Okay.
not going to explain this absolute XPath writing manually.
I mean, once you get comfortable with these particular attributes, then automatically we'll get it. So that is the reason again I'm not explained.
Okay, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, right.
One quick question. If suppose we are just login, username and password. Click on the login. SRMs.
Repeat the question again.
Enter the user login name and password, sir. And click on login.
No, you are saying that you need to
Yes, login.
log in.
Login. Yes, login. Enter the password. Login. Again, click on login. No, login करो sir. Go to the next page. Enter password. No, enter password. Password enter and login. So
Hmm.
now here in this page, so I need to find all each and every element for whole
No,
drop down
not
and all.
no. You can just see check boxes. You can try with the two. This is you can try with the two things here. This is you can try with the two things. Not record all the things here. Hello.
All only two. The drop down also, sir. Drop down also.
Yeah, drop down, you need to find it. So drop down, single drop down, you got it, right? Just will be finding this particular drop down. Okay.
Okay. As per
So
the Excel
wherever
sheet, sir.
you have any group of objects, not required these many things. So you need to just go with the one or two things that will be the fine.
All
Okay.
page, sir. Correct. The label and all things. Right click label, time and image, employee
These things,
information.
yes. This logo, you can try to see how much practice you will be doing that will give that much of the practical knowledge. So see the possibilities in finding with maximum objects here. Okay.
Okay, sir. Got it. And sir,
Okay.
one more thing. So JavaScript
Hmm.
is mandatory for this one, playwright learning JavaScript.
Repeat the question again.
JavaScript, if I don't have any knowledge of JavaScript, so is it possible to learn playwright and TypeScript?
You will get it. No worries about it all. So just you can attend with the sessions very regularly. So you will very easily can understand. From tomorrow, I'll be getting started all the programming concepts. Okay. No worries about it. Yeah. Okay.
Hello.
Next.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hi, sir. What are the main attributes we are used basically, sir?
There is no such kind of things. It's totally vary from project to project because in some projects, always ID will be the unique attribute. Some projects, value will be the unique attribute. So we cannot say that these are the best options here. So we have to go with the trial and error as part of that particular projects. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Next.
Yeah, hi sir.
Yeah.
Can you just show me, can I share my screen because I just want to see in the selector hub how you're selecting. Like I have already included selector hub in my Google Chrome, but after that
Okay.
I don't know how to proceed.
You need to just go to this plugin option. Under the plugin, you will be getting an option of the selectors hub.
Yeah.
Okay. So once you click on that, it will open. Then you will be selecting the option of the playwright. And then in the starting, you will get this arrow mark. You have to click on that. Then you can find whatever the object you want to find it. then it will be giving all these options here. Okay. Okay. Next.
Hi,
Hello,
Suresh.
sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, when we go for the real projects, so will the customers allow the selectors hub or the chat GPT?
No, that will depends on that particular clients. So that is the reason I'm saying that you need to go with always manual option. But it will vary. Some clients they will be accepting it, then the people will be using it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Right. Because ChatGPT, I just given only basic. ChatGPT I'll be discussing at the time of AI concepts. For now, just I want to showcase the option, but I mean, how we need to go with the in detail, I'll be taking into the AI concepts. At that particular time, we'll be discussing about that particular ChatGPT here. Okay.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my Excel file, I got that uh, heading. I got that error message like on Excel file heading, Excel production activation failed. How to fix it?
No, you're talking about Excel file activation.
Actually, I created one Excel file for objects, objects information. On the heading, I got that error message like a product activation failed.
That is your license of that particular Excel file, MS Office in your laptop.
Okay, okay.
Even though that error, I mean, that sometimes error message will be giving it, but you are able to open the Excel performing it.
Yeah,
So
I'm able to do that. Any
that,
action in that Excel file.
yeah, that you can continue. No worries about it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Thank you.
Hi, Suresh. I have a question over here.
Yeah.
We discussed about the content, right? So can we check for two conditions like when we see about the email address, we have the name and then at and then .com.
Only one attribute. So when you're
Uh,
working with answer starts with, you will be mentioning only one particular attribute.
Okay, like adding or and all such things we can't verify.
Not like taking with the contains, we can go
Mm-hmm.
with this multiple attribute option is there, right? So when you
Mm-hmm.
work with attributes, then we can go with the and or conditions. There we can applicable. Yeah.
Yeah, but in multiple attributes, I will have to specify the complete name of, I mean, value, right?
Yes, we have to.
When I say the dynamic email address, which is keeps on changing for person to person, how will I be verifying with the contains? Or we have any other option you mean to say?
No, at that time we will go with only this XPath with, relative XPath. Relative XPath, what will happen? It will take position of that particular email. So it will not look at that particular text or anything. So we can utilize relative XPath.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
One more question here I have, Suresh, is like when actually do we get the chance of using this get by text test ID? Like when usually they might be adding this test ID attribute over there.
In the HTML code, we'll refer the HTML code, right? In the
Huh.
HTML, if you are able to see attribute is mentioned as a test ID, like we are able to see name equal to ID equal to. In the same way, if you are able to see test ID equal to, then you will be using it.
Yeah, I understood that part, but usually in general, when we see like it can be on the table or it can be on the drop down or something. As
No,
we
that is
found for the alt text, right? We usually use it. We can find this for the images. So, is there any case like where we generally find this test ID?
no. So most of the time we can applicable for text boxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It could be we might find for the text boxes, you mean to say.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all,
Yeah.
Suresh. Thank you.
No problem.
Hello, sir. One more question I have. Hello.
Carry on.
Page dot locator of that hash symbol, name attribute and ID attribute. How it will search, sir? How it will differ from name attribute and then ID attribute?
First, it will search with name. If name is not applicable, immediately it will search with the ID. If both are not available, it will throw an error.
Okay. So it will check for both name and ID.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Fine.
Right.
Thank you.
Sir, I am having one doubt.
Hmm.
Like we are having multiple options under XPath with attributes, right? So the similar concept is applicable on CSS as well?
No. So CSS only for that particular single attribute, not like multiple attribute and starts with those things.
Okay,
Okay.
only for single attribute we are applying CSS. Okay.
Hmm.
Yep. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Right. Okay, guys. Take care about the things. Meet you tomorrow then. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.